Hello friends! Imagine if Kylian Mbappe chooses a transfer to the Premier League instead of Real Madrid. Which club would you like to see him at? Write in the comments, subscribe, and like the video. Let's get started! Samuel Umtiti will play in Liga 1 again. The former Barcelona defender signed a 2-year deal with Lille as a free agent. French winger Moussa Diaby finally left Bayer for Aston Villa. Villa paid about 50 million euros plus bonuses, and the player signed a 5-year contract. Diaby rejected Al Nassr's offer. This day, the dream of everyone in this country has come true. Inter Miami owner David Beckham commented on Lionel Messi's victorious debut. Villarreal striker Samuel Chukwueze will arrive in Milan on Monday to undergo a medical and become the new Rossoneri player. Manchester City right-back Issa Kabore has joined Premier League debutant Luton Town on loan. Last season, he played on loan for Marseille. Pep Guardiola, when asked about Asian players: Kaoru Mitoma has been incredible, really. He is in the right place at Brighton with the right manager. His last season was incredible. Bayer Leverkusen has announced the transfer of striker Victor Boniface from Union Saint-Gilloise for 20 million euros. He signed a 5-year deal. Borussia Dortmund has announced a contract extension with experienced central midfielder Emre Can until the summer of 2026. West Ham revealed their away kit for the next season. Gianluigi Donnarumma on the robbery of his home. The fear was so great, but even greater was the fear that something might happen to Alessia. I was powerless, tied up, unable to do anything. I still don't speak French well, and it was hard for me to explain to these people where everything was in the house. That's why Alessia helped me with this. She is still scared. Really crazy moments of deep fear, especially fear for her. Fear that they might hurt her. Long-time Liverpool captain Jordan Henderson has successfully completed a medical before his transfer to Al-Hilal. Real Sociedad's legendary midfielder David Silva is considering retirement. Recently, he tore the cruciate ligaments in his knee. Right-back Ola Aina, a Chelsea graduate, signed a contract with Nottingham Forest as a free agent. He spent the last 5 years in Torino. Atletico Madrid is in talks with Racing for the transfer of 19-year-old centre-back Thomas Aviles. If they sign him, they will immediately loan him out to Inter Miami. Thiago Alcantara is considering leaving Liverpool this summer. He has a year left on his contract. Carlo Ancelotti has turned down an incredible offer from a club in Saudi Arabia. Instead, he will lead the Brazilian national team in the summer of 2024. Fiorentina has loaned central midfielder Arthur Melo from Juventus. He spent last season on loan for Liverpool but hardly played. Swiss forward Noah Okafor moves from Red Bull Salzburg to AC Milan for 14 million euros. The contract will last for 5 years. Bayern's new left-back Rafael Guerreiro suffered a muscle injury to his ankle. He risks missing the opening games of the season. Parma's 45-year-old goalkeeper Gianluigi Buffon is leaning towards retirement. He will announce his decision in the coming days. He has 1 more year left on his contract. Barcelona cancelled the friendly against Juventus due to the spread of gastroenteritis in the team. Roberto De Zerbi on Caicedo's possible transfer. We have to replace him with a great player. This year we are playing in the Europa League, unlike Chelsea. Besiktas has started contacts with Milan regarding the transfer of forward Ante Rebic. The Rossoneri management is trying to get rid of the Croatian. Lazio have started negotiations with Chelsea to buy winger Callum Hudson-Odoi. He played last season at Bayer Leverkusen. Chelsea will start negotiations with Ajax in the coming days over the transfer of their attacker Mohamed Kudus. Atalanta coach Gasperini, Højlund and Man United? Sometimes there are choices to make, and also agents. We all have to consider the financial factor. He's very happy here. I'd love to keep Rasmus, of course, but sometimes clubs and also players have to consider huge bids. Crystal Palace's Cheick Doucouré is Liverpool's top choice to replace Jordan Henderson, but the London club wants to get £70 million. PSG is one step away from signing young Lyon forward Bradley Barcola. Personal terms have already been agreed with the player. Mikel Arteta: I expect Thomas Partey to stay here. Every time I spoke to him and had a conversation with him, he is ready to stay with us. For me, there is nothing there at all. Several Premier League clubs are ready to compete with Saudi Arabia for Newcastle striker Allan Saint-Maximin. Nottingham Forest and Bologna are working on signing Juventus left-back Andrea Cambiaso. Marseille has started working on signing Watford's winger Ismaila Sarr. Strasbourg, which was recently acquired by Todd Boehly, bought striker Emmanuel Emega from Sturm for 13 million euros. Bayern Munich will pay 13 million euros for Manchester City right back Kyle Walker. PSG have made an offer to Sevilla for the transfer of goalkeeper Yassine Bono. The Parisians are ready to pay 12 million euros, while Sevilla demands 6 million more. And now for the main news of the release. Atletico forward João Felix will definitely leave the club in the summer. He would like to go to Barcelona, but this transfer is almost impossible due to the price and Xavi's unwillingness to see the Portuguese in his team. Therefore, the main option for Felix is PSG, which has long been willing to sign the young forward. The likelihood of Felix transfer to PSG will increase if the Parisians manage to sell Kylian Mbappe. Felix played the second half of last season on loan at Chelsea, but did not strike the club, so they did not use the buyout option. Yesterday's press conference of Tottenham's new head coach, Ange Postecoglou, caused a scandal. Bild journalist Mark Schroeder brought the Bayern shirt with Kane's name on it to the press conference and asked the Australian coach what he thought about it. Postecoglou replied, "What can I say about that? Nothing. You've come a long way for the laugh. Hopefully it was worth it." As a result, Tottenham withdrew Schroeder's accreditation and banned him from ever attending the club's press conferences. Meanwhile, Bayern continues to try to reach an agreement with Spurs. The only player Barcelona really wants to sign this summer is Bernardo Silva. João Felix is not part of the club's plans at all, and Bernardo himself wants to join only Barca and is ready to wait until they can agree on his transfer with Man City and La Liga. PSG and clubs from Saudi Arabia are also interested in Bernardo. Manchester City wants to get about 80 million euros for him. Xavi will only agree to the transfer of Felix if Bernardo is signed and Ansu Fati or Ferran Torres leave. The Harry Kane transfer saga has taken an unexpected turn. Tottenham and the English footballer have been contacted by the representatives of Al-Hilal from Arabia. But Kane is not interested in this option yet. He is determined to move only to Bayern Munich, who are trying very hard to sign him. This summer, Al-Hilal, who played in the Club World Cup final last season, signed Sergej Milinkovic-Savic, Kalidou Koulibaly, and Ruben Neves. The former Flamengo, Benfica and Fenerbahce coach, Jorge Jesus, was appointed as Al-Hilal's new head coach. The buzz following Kylian Mbappe's availability for a transfer continues. Paris are trying to sell him as soon as possible, and the price ranges from 200 to 230 million euros. Mbappe himself has already made it clear that he will agree to only one option, Real Madrid. In turn, PSG assured him that he will either sign a new contract or leave the club, and if he leaves things as they are, he will spend the rest of the season on the bench. Apart from Real Madrid, almost everyone wants to sign the PSG star. Al-Hilal, who previously tried to convince Lionel Messi, are getting ready to make a concrete offer to PSG. Chelsea, Manchester United, and according to Marca, even Tottenham are also trying to take advantage of the situation. We are stocking up on popcorn while Mbappe is still training in Paris with Wijnaldum, Paredes, Draxler and Danilo, who are also up for sale. Friends, watch the new video on Valmacito about Leo Messi's incredible debut for Inter Miami. Have fun watching it. Thank you for your attention. Have a great weekend.